Well, hello there, and welcome to this episode of Just a Few. My name, of course, is Patrick Antwine. I'm your host for this brief video segment. And not only do I want to thank you for your support of this channel, but if you're watching this on YouTube and you would like to support this ministry even more, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you'll be notified every time a new video is posted up. I'd really appreciate it if you add yourself to my subscriber list. On this platform, I have the opportunity to provide biblical responses to questions from people just like you. And also, if you have a question and you'd like for me to attempt an answer, please feel free to submit that question, preferably via email. The email address is there on your screen, and I'll try to provide you with a response as soon as I can, if possible. Let's go to today's question, and it has to do with a sensitive issue of contraception. The question is it wrong for Christians to use contraceptives? And if I may jump straight into what my answer to a question like that is, my response will be yes or no. And I say, well, that doesn't help. Well, yes, it is wrong if you're a Christian and you're not married. Because if you're not married and you're seeking advice on what contraceptives to use, it means that you are engaging or planning to engage in what the Bible calls fornication or adultery, which God forbids. So that in that case, yes, it's wrong. But if you are married and you are not ready for whatever reason for conception or to have children, well, then I see absolutely nothing wrong scripturally, morally, or otherwise ethically for making the choice to use contraceptives. There are different types of contraceptives available for both men and women. There are male and female condoms, there are diaphragms, there are pills. A couple may choose to not have children, but of course they engage in sexual intercourse as a married couple. Again, I make that distinction between a married couple and individual Christians who are not married and they are just trying to avoid getting pregnant. In other words, enjoy what God intends to be the benefits of a covenant committed relationship of marriage without actually becoming married. And so now you're looking to prevent conception in the midst of your adulterous or a relationship of fornication. That's not God's will. And I mentioned a couple of seconds ago about the different forms of contraceptives available to a married couple. That, of course, as far as the Bible is concerned, I can assure you, does not include abortion as a contraceptive method, despite what the wider world how they may view it, because then you are actually stepping into what the Bible presents as violating God's will for the right of that unborn baby by taking the life of that baby. That's murder. So no, there's nothing wrong with a married Christian couple choosing to use contraceptives. In fact, this is one of the types of question where you can't go to the Bible and see something about contraceptives mentioned there. But I would draw your attention to a verse like Genesis 2:19, where when God created Adam as a free moral agent, he gave him the power to make choices. And God still gives us the right to make choices as long as those choices do not violate the rights of another person. And again, that's sort of like in a case like abortion. That unborn baby has rights, and you can't violate the right of that unborn baby's right to live because of your own choice and say, well, a woman should have the right to choose what she does with her body. Well, the problem is that's not her body. It may be housed for 9 months in her body, but your body doesn't have 2 heartbeats and 2 sets of lungs and everything else. That's another body there, and you have no right to destroy that other body while it is in your body. That's just the way God has set it up for that. For the first 9 months of its life, it's in your body, but that doesn't mean it's your body per se. Genesis 2:19 says, out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. That's dominion being exercised there. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. God said, no, I give you the freedom to do that. And man still has freedom today. And a couple, you have the right to decide if you want to have additional children or not. God isn't going to punish you for that. You should prayerfully enter into that decision-making process to decide, is it God's will for us to have another child? And if you feel both convinced, no, you don't want any more children, and you feel that it is not God's will for you to have any more, I see nothing wrong with you continuing to enjoy the pleasures of marital sex without the risk of bringing another child into the world when both of you have agreed that you don't think it's God's will for you to have. So that's my response to a question like that. Once it's a marital situation, I don't think God is going to be striking you down and punishing you and saying, well, he's trying to get you to have children, and then you're not, because it is not God's will for every time a couple has sexual intercourse, the possibility exists that you're going to conceive. And you know how many children a couple is going to have if that was God's will? So God gives you the freedom to decide if you want to have another child, to try for it, or if you decide you don't want to have another child, and you could decide to, use contraception. But once conception takes place, abortion is not an option. The child has already been conceived. That's a different issue altogether. So I trust that that response shed some light on the matter for you. And thank you for trusting me with the question. My name is Patrick Antoine. Until the next time, grace and peace be